in New York City. Woo! I think I was opening for John Coltrane or Thelonious Monk. It was amazing. Afterward, I bumped into Bobby Dylan on McDougal Street, which was not all that uncommon because it was before he was washed by the waters of fame and fortune. We got into a deep rap about the future of the Gaslight Cafe. I had a small room up over the club where I sometimes shared it with Dylan. In fact, he wrote "Hard Rain's Gonna Fall" on my typewriter there, my rusty old Remington. Suddenly, Dylan tugs me into this darkened doorway. He is peering furtively across the street at a guy walking by. "Hey, let's just wait here for a while, man. You see that cat over there? Do you know who he is?" When I told him I didn't, he told me he didn't. But would I mind hanging out with him until the object of our attention went around the corner? I had no problem with that. Dylan was definitely a great choice of somebody I'd enjoy lurking in a doorway with in 1962. He was extremely funny then and had an opinion about everything. That he would choose to express these opinions in a doorway to avoid an imaginary encounter with an anonymous stranger, I found a tad paranoid. At that time, few people were familiar with Dylan, and those who knew about him were mostly folkheads, a gentle and respectful bunch. Perhaps he had perceived his rock and roll future in those early furtive glances. 10 years would pass before we would bump into each other again in the village. I simply couldn't believe my eyes. There was Bob Dylan walking down West 4th Street by himself. At that moment, he was one of the most famous men in the world. Bill Graham maintained he could sell out the Pacific Ocean in 3 hours by placing a notice in the restroom at Zim's, a popular San Francisco eatery. Bill may have been exaggerating, but not by much. Dylan's fans numbered in the millions, and many considered him not only a musical prophet, but somebody who could chart their individual destinies. This was a hell of a row for anyone to hoe, especially someone like Bob, who had a jump start on being paranoid. It was beautiful to see him out and about and without any protection. My wife, Bonnie Jean, was with me, and she and Bob go way back to the University of Minnesota. We had ourselves quite a little reunion right there in the middle of Sheridan Square. Bonnie Jean and I were staying just around the block at an apartment of some friends. I was in the process of writing The Hog Farm and Friends before heading west for my third spinal fusion. Dylan agreed to stop off at our place and visit, so Bonnie Jean peeled off to the straighten up the apartment while Bob accompanied me to the corner cigar store for various combustibles. We hadn't walked half a block when this young, intense, wide-eyed hippie pops up out of nowhere yelling, "Hey, man! Woo! Hey, man! Hey, man! Wait up just a second!" And Bob just sort of scrunches into his shoulder blades. "No, I can't believe it," said the hippie as he cut us off at the pass. "Are you really? Wavy gravy?" Well, man, I've seen Woodstock 9 times. And I just want to say I really, really admire what you're doing. I just sort of bit my lip to keep from falling down laughing at Dylan's take on this turn of events. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Bob. Hi, Bob, said the hippie, but seriously, Wavy. I just got to get your autograph from my girlfriend. Will never believe me. And she is one of your greatest fans. Oh, no, she's not. I've got one out west with feathers.